Welcome to the tutorial of ClearVu Analytics First Steps. The aim of this tutorial is to show how you can easily use your data to gain new insights into your processes. Consider the following task. You need to design a technical component like an intake port with several design parameters. The aim of the design is to maximize mass flow and tumble. You have data of hundreds of designs made in the past available to complete the task. First, we need to import the data. Select your data file. Usually, this is an Excel workbook. The data can be spread across several sheets. If the data has been prepared well, you can click quite fast through the data import wizard. The main ribbon allows you to navigate through the different modules of CVA. When you start, you are in the Explore and Configure module. Here you get an overview over your data, including variables and values. You can also define restrictions, data filters, and groups. Data filters help you to clean your data and remove unwanted values. Groups allow you a faster selection of variables in nearly all dialogues and ribbons. The main task of the Explore and Configure module is to access the data quality. For this purpose, we can generate charts and tables to inspect the data. The distribution of the data looks quite good, and it seems we do not have any outliers to remove. We can use the matrix view to see if there are correlations between input and output variables. In the wizard, we choose the output variables for the columns and the input variables for the rows. Looking through the charts, we can see that D2 strongly correlates with both output variables. Now that we are satisfied with the quality of the data, we change to the Models and Modeling module. This module allows us to generate models which reflect the dependencies of the output variables on the input variables. We start with the model generation right away. We want to use all data, so we do not have defined any data filters, and we can continue to the next step. Now we select the input and output variables. In this case, the variables are already clustered within the assigned groups, so that we only need to check the groups to continue. The next step allows some additional configurations. You could, for example, transform variables and define how to treat missing values. In this case, we do not need to do any additional configurations as a result of our exploration at the beginning of the tutorial. CVA provides several modeling techniques. Other than common modeling tools, you do not need to commit yourself to one method. CVA tries every selected method, compares the outcome, and automatically selects the best approach for the data. So we continue to the next page. Usually, the model is automatically optimized regarding the cross-validation quality. It can take some time, but you do not need expertise in all modeling techniques to set the best parameters. If you are an expert in a certain technique, you can switch the optimization off and set the parameter manually. Now we let the program do the work for us, setting the best parameters. Last, we enter a name for the results. Then we start modeling. The progress page shows the current states of all modeling processes. After a process has finished, a traffic light indicates the success. You can stop single processes by clicking on the cross in the assigned row. We can close the wizard after all processes have finished. You can immediately see that we got good models by the green traffic light. We could start the optimization right away with this information. But before we start, we have a closer look at the active model to identify the most important input variables. The bars show us that D2 and L3 are the most important ones. Now we move on to the optimization module. Here you define objectives and use them to optimize your input variables. We need two objectives: maximize mass flow and maximize tumble. We create the objectives with this wizard. First, we define a function consisting of models and variables. Then we choose our aim, in this case maximization. Finally, we change the name to a more descriptive name. The other objective is created in the same way. Now we can start the optimization. First, we select our objectives. Next, we could change the ranges of the input variables. Now we could add restrictions. The optimization results are all valid. Thus, using too much restrictions can result in no optimization results at all because no valid suggestion could be found. The default values for the optimization are fine. Finally, we enter a name for the optimization. We can now inspect the suggestions the optimization has generated in the overview. To get a better view, we change to the Detail View tab and create a scatter chart. Now we see all suggestions on a Pareto front and we can decide which suggestion best meets our requirements. After selecting a point, you can look up the input values in the underlying table. The assigned line is colored green. This concludes the tutorial. You have seen how you can inspect your data and quickly gain new insights into your products and processes and how to optimize them. Thank you for watching the tutorial ClearVu Analytics First Steps.